This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This is the Place podcast. My name is Brandon, and I'm here with the dude. So that's what we're going to call him. That or his dudeness or duder or El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
That's me. So I'm playing on this co-ed softball team. And one of the guys, and one of the guys on our team is deaf. And a couple of weeks ago, the umpire was making some strange calls. So I was pitching in that game. So I was asking him to clarify some of his calls. And anyways, after the game, the deaf guy was talking to his wife, and he kept saying he didn't know what my name was. So all he would say is the guy that looks like the dude, because he was trying to explain to his wife which player was asking the umpire the rules of the game. But he said the guy looks like the dude. So that's me.
That's you. I guess we were just podcasting, and you were wearing a sweater, and you just looked a lot like the dude that day. And from then on, I knew we had to go bowling, and you had to be the dude for our bowling episode. And all you're trying to do is get your rug back or get someone to pay for your rug because it really tied the room together.
That's all I want. Is it that hard? I haven't seen that movie for a long time.
I guess our photo shoot for our episode was us being, well, you being the dude and me being whoever else, because I don't look like anybody in that movie.
You don't think you look like, what's his name? The dude's friend?
Whoever you say, I'll be offended. If you say I look like John Goodman,
Sound good, man.
or if I look like Steve Buscemi, either way, I don't really want to be compared to them. You brought up something a while ago that I wanted to talk about, and we haven't had a chance because we've had a busy schedule, but I thought maybe we should go over this article you sent me about the 10 words only Utahns use.
So number 1, sloughing.
In other states, they call it skipping, ditching, or cutting class, but here we call missing class sloughing.
I think I used that word last week. We went over like really late at night. Actually, technically it was morning. So it was like Wednesday morning around 12:30, 1 o'clock. We went to Belgian Waffle. And I told everybody, because it's across the street from Hillcrest, and I said we would slough school and come over here and eat waffles.
And everyone knew what you were talking about?
Absolutely. I think everybody with me was from Utah besides one person, but they didn't question me what it was.
They just nodded and didn't want to be the odd one out.
They probably don't listen to me anyways. So
how about powder?
That one's surprising. I mean, if you say powder, I guess maybe if you're in a non-ski state or in a warm state that you wouldn't understand that one. And then there's the third one on the list, funeral potatoes.
That is such a weird name.
Which is true, right? You have those at funerals all the time.
You have to. I have them a lot more places than just funerals, but you have to have it at a funeral.
There's a lot of restaurants outside of Utah or people that make something kind of similar, but it's not the same thing as funeral potatoes, right?
Your cornflakes.
Gotta have the cornflakes. Man, growing up, and still kind of to this day, funeral potatoes and like ham are like one of my favorite meals. I like pudding because usually if you have funeral potatoes and ham, then you have like good rolls as well. So you kind of make like a ham sandwich out of the roll, and life is good. But I love my funeral
You put some
potatoes.
fry sauce on it too? which is the next word.
Yes. Fry sauce goes with almost everything, right? And the next one is ward. You live in my ward.
I used to live in your ward.
You did used to live in my ward. Then you moved to a different ward.
Yep. The prison ward.
I wonder if somebody outside of Utah what their thoughts are when they hear that.
It's funny because in Spanish, it's easy for someone that isn't a church member to kind of get what you're saying. If you say barrio, right?
Barrio. Yeah, because barrio is a word.
It's like neighborhood.
Neighborhood, right. That's interesting how they kind of translated it that way.
Yeah.
But then when they say rama, branch.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense.
That one doesn't make as much sense.
But doesn't in English either. To non-Utah or non.
But that's like a direct translation.
Right.
Or barrio and ward, I guess. I don't know.
There was no better alternative to ward. That's just what it was.
But the next one on the list doesn't really make sense to me. Holy War, because other teams have the Holy War as well, right? And why is it called the Holy War?
Who knows? But some commentator called it that once, and it just stuck.
Then we have elder or elders. Obviously, they're referring to either elders quorum or a missionary.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get asked on your mission if you were related to your companion because you both had the same first name?
So I got a parking ticket on my mission once, and we went to go fight it and appeared in front of a judge. And as we were walking out, he's like, "Are you guys brothers?" We said, "No." So that was as close as I got to being asked if I was related to my companion.
Because I feel like I got asked a lot. I'm like, well, number one, it's the same first name. You're usually not related when you have the same first name. It's usually the same last name, but elder's just a title. But just interesting.
Yeah. This is the next one's kind of weird. Mountain.
I guess this is the way you
mountain.
It, though, right? Mountain.
Yeah.
Moen.
Mountain.
Mow.
So if you go to Layton, near the mountain.
Oh, what was I watching? A clip from Pawn Stars, and they were going to Sturgis, I think, and the old Rick, I think is his name, the dad was like, he's driving his RV instead of his motorcycle, and it's like, so I'm just taking like a road trip, and so crossing through Utah, I decided to stop in Hurricane. But anyways, just funny the way we pronounce things here in Utah.
Then we got the non-curse words: heck, frick, ding, shoot. Yeah, I
use fiddlesticks and nerds a lot. Fiddlesticks.
You say nerds a lot.
Nerds.
I don't know. What do I say a lot?
You just say the real thing.
Yeah,
you're not a fake guy. You like to you like to keep it real.
Just keep it real. Yep. I just say all the darn curse words that I want. The last one is my wife's favorite, a dirty Diet Coke. So that is Diet Coke with a little rum in it. Sorry. What this is saying is Diet Coke with coconut syrup, fresh lime, and a splash of cream. Sorry, not rum. That's a different one.
Well, is it necessarily just dirty Diet Coke? I mean, don't they do a lot of dirty stuff?
Yeah, not just Diet Coke, but let's be real. Everyone here drinks Diet Coke.
But it's good. Diet Coke with like when you put like a little bit of lemon in there and stuff like that. I should have tried one before I went sober on the sodas.
It's never too late to go back, Nate. You can always come back to the bubbly side. I'm
sure one day I will.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
You promise that you'll wait for me and we can do it together?
it sounds good.
We'll crack open a Baja Blast.
Oh yeah, there's so many it's hard to go to the store now and see all the shit like Mountain Dew, have all these new flavors.
They got
Even
a
Dr.
Pepsi with
Pepper.
mango now.
Yeah, Pepsi and
Sounds pretty
Coke,
good.
and it's hard. And then some stores even have Guadana now. It's just hard to not. Oh, where did I go? Lowell Book Sales. They do. Here's a little insider tip that you can get your missions done there for like $10.
$10.
$10, and they've had that forever. I think they were even doing $10 for safety and emissions back when you had to do safety. So I always like, well, it's on my way to the office whenever I go to the office. So I usually stop in there and get it done. And the best part is they have like a little kind of kitchen area that you can go get a soda or a hot chocolate or something like that. So it's like, yeah, that's like another dollar value there. So it's really just $9, right? But I went in the other day, like last month, I think, to get my emissions done on my truck. And they had red cream soda. They just barely put on the fountain drink there. And I'm like, you gotta be flipping kidding me. It was so hard to not. I love red cream soda. Oh, that was so good. So anyways, now we're going down a rabbit hole of sodas.
Well, I will tie it in this way, is that you deprive yourself of a lot of things these days.
Yeah.
You already deprived yourself of the soda.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are all depriving yourself of food a couple times a week. And you even did that when we had our last outing related to this episode, and you declined my cheese fries when we went bowling.
Did you get cheese fries or just regular fries?
Oh yeah, they were regular fries.
Do they do cheese fries there?
I'm sure they do. It was just a split second. I wanted some fries, and that's what I got.
Yeah, bowling alley food for some reason is usually pretty good. Snack bar food.
Yeah, I always have to get fries when I go bowling. And then if you're actually grabbing the cheese fries, it's making your hands all greasy and it messes up your game. But I used a fork, and that's why I smoked you 3 out of the 4 games.
Yeah. We went on a Monday though, right? It was a Monday.
Okay. Yeah, well, so what we're talking about today is Allstar Lanes. And it's the premier bowling alley here in the state. You got West Valley, the one we went to. Got Draper, Sandy, Thule, and West Jordan.
Yes.
It's a couple locations you can go have a nice bowl.
I would guess that if you're like a serious bowler, like league type person, that All-Star Lanes is probably not where you go nowadays, right?
Because it's more for the families.
I feel like they've totally changed into more of like the fun center type place.
Oh yeah. That's for sure. And we could do a couple episodes just on all the other offerings of All Stars, Fun Setters, or whatever they're called, because they have mini golf, they got laser tag, bumper cars, games, you name it. We went exclusively for the bowling.
Yes.
But if you are a avid bowler, like the dude here, you're going to find a dingier bowling alley.
Yeah,
I don't mean no disrespect, but it's not a bowling alley. Like the All-Star Lanes, they're clean, and they have that family-friendly feel. And that's not what you want at a legit bowling alley that's for the leagues and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know if they do. I'm guessing they probably don't do leagues anymore at All-Star. I know they did way back when, at least at the West Jordan one, but I don't think they do anymore, but I could be wrong. And the reason I say that is a lot of these, I mean, it's kind of becoming a thing now, like bowling alleys. I feel like it started like in California, where you go bowling to just hang out, right? And they'll
Yeah.
have like a waitress, and they have like almost like couches type sitting situations where you just hang out, eat food, and bowl. So it's more of a entertainment factor rather than a sport, right?
Right. See,
But
I
when
made
you
the
go to
comment that I don't know why everyone goes golfing. I think the real business deal should be made on the bowling alley. That's just me. It's a lot cheaper.
to go bowling than golfing,
Yeah.
yeah, I've always thought that too. But I do believe Top Golf is now the bowling alley for rich people.
Mm,
So a lot of people, anyways. But
good point.
my whole point to All Star and places like that is that they it's more about volume, getting people through, not the serious bowler. So their lanes are either completely oil or no oil at all, has been my experience in places like that. So
You're just saying that because you're jealous,
yes, I'm jealous of straight bowlers,
like
people
me.
who, yeah, like Brandon, because
I got no curve in my bowl.
he's got no curve and it goes straight, and they do very well. Same thing happened to me. We went to Denver for a company trip, and same type of atmosphere, bowling place by our hotel that we went with. Everybody had like zero oil on it, so the ball, if you throw a curve or whatever, it would way curve because there was no oil at all. And straight bowlers do really well there too. So I'm like, well, I got to figure out how to straight bowl again, and I just can't do it. Just can't do it. So,
That's just how I roll.
and yeah, and Brandon rolls very well, very straight. So, but going back to All Star, we went in thinking like, oh, we only had time because we only had like an hour, right, to
Yeah.
play. And it turned out that it was cheaper for us to do their unlimited bowl pass. I think it started from like, if you get from 3 on Monday nights from like 3 to closing, how much was it, you think?
$10.99.
$10.99.
So you can
For
do
unlimited bowling.
$10.99 for the bowling from 3 to close, and if you want to add $5, you can do bowling and attractions. But we just were there for the bowling.
Yeah, so that was like really fun because we tried to see how many games of bowling we could get done within the hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, did we end up with 5?
We got 4.
Four games done. So not a bad deal when you break down the per game.
We probably could have went faster if I wasn't eating fries.
Yeah.
So that's my bad. But that unlimited was pretty cool. You even went back and bowled afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah. The reason we only had an hour because I had a softball game. And on the way home from my softball game, I'm like, I'm going to be driving right by there again. So I'm like, go back in and play another couple games. So it's kind of fun just to play as long as you want or as long as your arm will bear. That's basically what it came down to for me. My arm was dead.
How many games did you play after?
I think I did at least another 3 games. I just wanted, like, I got to try to figure out this hook thing. I never figured it out because it was just, like I said, pure grease all the way down the lane. I'm not that good like the professionals to figure it out. So, which is always fun. So, do you ever watch bowling on TV?
No. One of my favorite clips in sports of all time is from a bowling. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Is that where is his name Pete, whatever, when he yelled at the crowd?
Yep, that's the one.
You know what's interesting? I actually watched that live.
Really?
Yeah. I actually do enjoy watching bowling for some reason. I remember watching that one live. I'm like, what is he say? What did he just say? I had to like rewind it a couple of times. I'm like,
Here, let's let the listeners hear it so they can enjoy it as well.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
That is why I did it! At number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
Yeah, he kept like thinking like somebody I remember watching it that somebody in the crowd was like talking during his like approach. So he was like yelling at whoever it was in the crowd. But who do you think you are? I am.
Good old Peter Weber.
Whoever.
That clip always pops up. It's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah, I remember watching that one. And right now they have they're calling it like the PBA or professional bowling playoff or something like that. So they have like the top 16 players going against each other.
Wow.
Been kind of fun to watch. They do so it's the best of 3. So if you're tied after 2 games and you have like a bowl off or something like that, you do like it's been fun to watch. But I didn't get to watch this last weekend yet. I actually DVR it.
Wow, you're serious.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of relaxing to watch bowling. And it's fun. Just like, I love how they're like, what's your strategy? And I'm like,
I just bowl.
To get strike.
To hit all the
like,
pins.
Is there really a strategy? But I understand like when they sometimes say strategy because like I was just talking about the oil patterns and stuff like that. Like you have to throw the ball different, but it's just kind of funny when they're trying to like
add commentary.
Yeah, or interview them and stuff like that. And
I was gonna say my grandpa is an avid bowler, and he has kept track of his scores. He's gone probably once a week for the last at least 20 to 30 years.
oh, really?
Yeah, and he always tracks what his score is, and I've gone with him obviously many times. He was telling me the other day that he wishes that's what he would have stuck with and just been a professional bowler, because if you work hard at it, spend enough time, you can really stand out.
What's your grandpa? Do you even know what his average is?
I don't know. It varies, but it's usually in the 160 range, I think.
Oh, okay. For a little bit, like Allstar Lanes in West Jordan, it's not just them, but there's a national program they were doing. I think they might still be doing it, called like free bowl. I forget what they call it. Kids Bowl Free. That they were doing in the summer just to get kids out of the house and being active. So like when school gets out for the summer, you can sign up for a program that you get like 2 free games of bowling every day. And then as a parent, you could, for like 20 or 30 bucks, you can add yourself to that same pass too. And so you get 2 free games. So for a few summers I was taking, especially when my boys were younger, because their occupational therapist said it was good for them to lift heavy things, so I'd take them bowling and it was good for them. So I got pretty decent at bowling to where my average was around like the 187, 190 range. And even like one day some guy came over to me and he's like, hey, you're actually pretty good. You want to join our bowling league? And I'm like, oh, I've always wondered how that works. I'm like, oh, how does it work? And he's like, oh, well, it's like 32 weeks. I'm like, 32 weeks? I'm like, that's more than half the year. Like, that's a huge commitment. So I'm like, I'm not interested. And then you have to be there every week. And if not, you still have to pay the league fees or something like that. I don't know. It was like, I was like, yeah. If it were like a bunch of friends like you and somebody else, like a bunch of guys, I'd probably be interested. But like that's a huge commitment. I'm not going to do it. But, and then I remember like, I hadn't been because I didn't do the summer pass one year. And then our church group was for the elders that we just talked about. We're going bowling. And I'm like, man, I want to go do a warm-up game so I don't look like a fool when I play with them. So I went over to a different bowling alley, like what we're talking about, more of the the dude type bowling alley over here off of Bangor and 54 South. I think it's called Valley Lanes.
Valley, yep.
I went in there because they're like pretty cheap too to go there. And I did like a practice game a couple days before we went to Allstar Lanes with the church group. And I think I bowled like I want to say like a 215 or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Go over to Allstar Lanes. I barely broke 100. because
Oh,
same thing.
man.
Like I was talking about, the oil pattern was just pure grease, and I'm like, never mind.
Is that your best game? 215?
No, I think my best was like in the two. I had to look at Facebook. I posted on Facebook years ago, but it was around the 230 range. I think was my best game.
Not bad.
So, like when you're going a couple times a week, you kind of start to figure things out. But
196 for me. That's my best game. I can't break the 200.
oh yeah, you both
One-
pretty.
one
You
of
got
these
pretty.
days.
You got like around 180, right? When we went
I got a 190.
190. There you go.
I got 4 strikes in a row at one point. Yeah, that was another cool thing is while you're playing, you get updates from Allstar giving you bowling facts and other facts related. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, so one other thing too. I don't know if I ever told you this. So when I went back that night to play, we just did like straight up bowling. You know, the traditional scoring. But there's like kind of like Top Golf has. There's like different type of games you can play. So like the lane next to me, like they were doing something where it would have different kind of splits and stuff. So it would set up the pins that way, and then your goal is to hit those splits or whatever. And the first person to get through all the different combinations wins.
That's
So
cool.
we didn't really test the waters of that, but it just goes to show you that's why it's not like a serious bowlers type of alley. They're trying to make it a little bit like, you know, if you ever been in Top Golf and the different games and stuff you can play. More of a
Yeah.
hangout, chill, relax, have fun, eat some fries. They have a lot of different food too, burgers.
And you can go over to the other side and do pins and L's too and get yourself a
An adult beverage, but you gotta be over 21. Yeah, I mean, that's something new that they just at least the one in West Jordan, they used to have both sides open and then they had to what would it be? The east side of the complex, they had pins and ales, but it was like just a bar. But now like pins and ales is part of the bowling alley where you can bowl and have a drink. So, but I think they used to allow alcohol. So that's probably another reason why it's more of a family fun center type thing. So that you can kind of separate the two, because
right.
you used to be able to have alcohol throughout the whole bowling alley, because my son Bronco had his first taste of beer at Allstar Lanes back when I was taking him during the summers. He like disappeared. Like, where'd he go? And then he came walking around the corner, like trying to wipe his hands on his tongue to wipe
Had
off
some
the
nasty
taste
apple
of it.
juice.
Yeah. So yeah, both my boys have had more alcohol than I've ever had in my life. But one cool story about Allstar Lanes before they became what they are today, when I was taking my kids during those free bowling summers, they used to, for the arcade, they would do a lot of like to generate more money, just a lot of like deals like, hey, you get a $20 game card for $10 and stuff like that. So I'd buy that for the kids, and so we'd go bowling and then we'd go play the arcade a little bit. But there's a game called like Cut the Rope or Cut Scissors or something like that. So they'll have like prizes hanging on a string, and at the Allstar Lanes in West Jordan, they had like an iPad hanging on the string. The kids wanted to try it, so I tried to like put in like $2 or $3, and every time I got pretty close, I'm like, oh, okay. And then like the $4th or $5th I put in, I cut the string and the iPad fell down.
What?
And I was like, did I really just win an iPad for like $5? Like I felt almost like guilty. And then I like took it up to like the counter thing, and they're like, okay, let me go grab your iPad. I'm like, huh? Like I felt like so weird. Like I feel like I'm robbing, like I cheated somehow. It just felt weird. But yeah.
Well, everybody else in front of you had already paid for it. So
Yeah. So we won a free iPad, and probably because I posted it on Facebook, so I'm sure that machine around the, you know, at least the friends I have on Facebook made a lot of money that week. People were like, oh, you really can win an iPad.
Hey Nate, what
What's up?
excuse did the bowler give when he was accused of stealing?
That he didn't do it?
No, that he was framed. This one can work with any sport, but where do bowlers go when they need a new team shirt?
To Walmart?
No, to New Jersey.
Oh man, those are good jokes. Where does Superman like to go bowling?
Where?
Lois Lanes. So I was going to tell you a really bad bowling pun, but I thought I'd spare you.
Oh, man. Well, let's spare the rest of our listeners too and end it there. Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
See you next week.